everything you got. Come on, you ape. You want to live forever?
Howdy folks, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, the Mighty Bjorn, and today for you I have a Bjorn's Mighty Thoughts video, and I am going to be covering a game that's going to be coming soon, titled Starship Troopers Terran Command. Now this is not a review, even though this is actual gameplay footage that I collected while I was messing around with the demo, and I figured I'd just take time, talk about what I saw a little bit, and just talk about the game itself in general. As it stands, it is made by the Aristocrats, that is the developer, and Slytherin is the publisher. Now, the game is set to be released in March 31st of 2022. That being said, there actually is a free demo right now that you can download from the Steam Workshop. And honestly, what I have to say about it is it's not bad. I'm not wild about RTS games, just to be honest. I am not a connoisseur, let alone RTS games have really kind of died off over the years, from what I can tell, although there is like the Total War series. I guess that's probably the big one nowadays, huh? But it's not a bad, from what I could see, it wasn't a bad game. I didn't have a bad experience with it. I did have quite a bit of fun just kind of maneuvering around my troops and slaughtering the arachnids. Now, the game itself looks like it's going to be based loosely off the events of the first movie. Well, not so loosely as it is based off the events of the first movie, as it actually happens after the invasion of Clendathu. And literally that is like the opening scene, if you will, of the game, where they talk about the invasion of Clendathu. Now, the movie was loosely based off the book, and when I say loose, I mean Abbey Brook loose. They're not comparable. However, the game is very comparable to the movies itself, and they use a lot of different types of assets. You just saw the tactical fighters flying past, which you could see those in movies. They dropped napalm, although I think the napalm effect probably could have been a bit better there, and some audio would have been nice there. The explosions, I mean, even if they made it seem like that you're hearing the explosion from a distance away, but we'll go with it. Now, that being said, there's also, I did see a Marauder suit as well. This is actually the image I've seen of the Marauder suit. So I do have hopes that we'll actually see the Marauder suits, because those things are pretty badass. I don't know if we're going to see anything like the pulse rifles from Starship Troopers 2, and there's no indication of that. But there is different types of units in the game, and they all have different types of weapon that would be either featured in Starship Troopers, the films, or even some of it being the Roughneck Chronicles. In the realm of the flamethrowers, that was something that they showed in the Roughneck Chronicles. Your units can gain special abilities as they gain experience, so it is kind of worth keeping your different units alive and constantly reinforced. Like your riflemen, you can either get it's like a cluster grenade, I think it's called a bug bomb, or you can get a shotgun salvo where they use their underslung shotguns to do massive damage to an incoming arachnid swarm. It is, it's pretty interesting how they did it. I'm not going to say it's like the greatest game I've ever played, let alone, I wouldn't say it's the greatest RTS game I've ever played, but it honestly does not look bad. And I would definitely say you probably ought to check it out. I mean, like I said, it's got a free demo on Steam, and it's a lot of just maneuvering around units in different positions, and your positioning matters. You can't shoot through ally units. If you have a squad right in front of another squad, it will block their line of fire, which I think is very cool. Also, elevation does matter, as it gives better visual, and I'm sure there's probably some type of damage bonus or accuracy bonus or something along those lines also by having a height advantage. And basically, you know, you got to go through, you got to do the different types of objectives. I suspect a lot of the objectives are going to be time-based. I mean, you kind of do have to rush your units into positions to get them ready for an incoming bug attack, and that's actually, honestly, in my opinion, probably going to be one of the key factors on how the game is going to play out, how easy the game's going to be, how difficult the game's going to be, and basically constantly being on the bubble, I think, is what's going to make the game really challenging. But it also makes it fairly interesting how they brought in different types of things, such as like the engineers. You can actually build twin 50 cal turrets, which you would see in the movie. You know, so it's really cool how they're using different assets from the movie, and I'm sure they're creating their own assets, such as, even though it's not a direct one-on-one, they did create an acid sprayer bug, a spitter bug is what it's called. And in Starship Troopers, the Roughneck Chronicles, they had the blister bug, which is what the photo was there. The bugs look different. The spitter does not look like the blister bug from Starship Troopers Roughneck Chronicles, but I would say it's definitely a page taken from the Roughneck Chronicles. All that being said, some of the music does seem like it's from the movie as well, so it kind of sets the mood. And honestly, I do like the potential of what the game has to offer, especially in the realm of expanded story for the Starship Troopers universe that was essentially started with the, well, it was originally started with the book, but this is expanding the movie universe, which is a completely different Starship Troopers universe, if you will. But yeah, so check it out. It looks like it's going to be interesting. Anyway, folks, hopefully you enjoyed my video. Thank you very much for tuning in and listening to me ramble about Starship Troopers Terran Command. And have yourself a wonderful day.